Hey guys, Sublord here, back in with another action figure review and another edition of Holy Shit, my area actually had something new. I mean, it does happen, but I have to make fun of it because of all you sons of bitches who have amazing toy hunts on YouTube. Either way, today we're going to be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Platinum Edition of the Rocket Red Brigade. This guy comes with 3 different numbers for the chest plate, as opposed to the standard edition that comes with the other 3 numbers. So, a bit of an army builder, we'll say. That said, this of course brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, who are going to be fine folks, despite the fact that Platinum Editions are kind of stupid. And a lot of people have added up to here with this company's BS. But in this case, this figure is pretty cool. Despite some reuse from the Batwing body mold, which came out, 3 years ago now? We're getting a figure on this body like once a year, it seems. And this year, feels like this is the reuse of it. So, with that being said, I think it is time now that we cut to the chase and take a look-see at all Rocket Red has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with the collectible trading card, which is the right one. Damn it. I don't know what happened, but I mixed up the cards in my Scarecrow, Batgirl, and Riddler reviews by accidente. I don't know what happened there. I think something must have got shuffled around and I didn't double check. But you know what? Last I checked, you didn't have to sit through a 15-second ad to get to this review, so up yours, bitch. That said, he does have the blast effects for the Feedums. There you go. He also has the blast effect for his Bakapak. It's the same as the Batwing one. And then he also has, the reason most people are going to be after this guy, these 2 little number plates for his chest. They are different from the standard edition. I guess the coloring might be a little different, but if these match the standard edition, and I decide to go for a couple more of these, then to heck with it. I don't care about that kind of accuracy. I mean, not for nothing. This one would probably be like the main Rocket Red, which I think is number, I want to say 7 is Vladimir, and that's the one from Justice League Unlimited. But is it 5 is like the famous one, or 11? I think those are the numbers the other one comes with. This one has a FOA on his chest. I think there's a 6, and I forget what the other number is. But we got the hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases, and here we have Rocket Red. Basically like the DC version of Crimson Dynamo or Titanium Man, because he's a Russian dude in an Iron Man suit. Cool jetpack. Pretty weighty figure. I mean, I'm used to this body buck, but he's got some heft to him. As far as his articulation goes, his head will rotate. You can look up a little bit. You can look down. You can tilt. What have you. Shoulders pop out. This one's a little tighter than the other one, but that's just kind of how McFarlane stuff is. It'll rotate. He's got the beautiful butterfly cap thingy. Who's it? Which is kind of tight on this guy. Not gonna lie. But you can get it to work. It's not all sticky. He's got a bicep swivel. Double elbow. Whoop. Not the biggest fan of this thing sticking off the elbow there, but what are you gonna do? It does cover some unsightly gappage, so there is that. Woo! Snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. Yeah, that's just hella tight. Alright. He's got the ball hinge wrist that will hinge, rotate, and swivel. And I will say, I was just talking to a good friend of the channel, Dreads1313, about this. Hopefully he watches this channel, or this video. Of course he watches this channel. I just said he's a friend of the channel. Stupid! But, we were just talking about how tight the Scarecrow was, because I swear to God, every time I mess with that figure, I gotta heat something up on him to get it to move. And this guy had to heat up his wrists to get them to move, so there is that. He does have a diaphragm joint, but I'm not gonna get a lot out of that. It's pretty limited. It does lean forward. It leans forward better than a lot of McFarlane stuff. I don't know what the deal is, but it does do that. It can tilt a little bit. And it does rotate. It doesn't rotate a ton, but it does rotate. It actually doesn't move back a whole lot, so that's kind of ironic. The waist does twist. But it is also kind of sticky. He's a little sticky. And then for his hips, they do kick out. They kick forward and back. He does have a thigh cut. But really, it's just an innie. And it moves like one notch. Double knee. Works fine. Not too bad with that knee pad there. I like to pop the bottom joint once just to help him stand. He does have the ball hinge ankles that will hinge, rotate, and pivot with a toe joint. That's not too bad on both sides. So a pretty solid release, I have to say. I'm happy with it. Again, it's so good, I kind of wouldn't mind getting a couple more of them at least. But yeah, I like this figure. I think he's cool. The colors really pop on him. I like the red and the silver. And yeah, while I'm not that big of an army builder, this one's kind of tempting because he's got a cool design. I'm at least going to get the regular one so I can have the regular Rocket Red. Probably the regular one will go like on the wall where I have a bunch of figures posed like they're flying. And then the other one will go with my Justice League team, which is basically like the 90s run slash anything from Unlimited. Because that is the goated Justice League lore. Suck it if you're into that live action crap. But with that being said, I think it is now time that we move right along. Take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Rocket Red, alongside a couple other figures that utilize, well, some of the same body parts as he does. We have Batwing V2 from the New 52, as well as the Manhunter Robot from ye old Green Lantern comics, who was also, funny enough, a Platinum Edition. I mean, at least this time they chose to give the Army Builder a Standard Edition, as opposed to just making him a chase that a lot of people probably had a heck of a time finding. I kind of lucked out with this one, but rest assured, that doesn't happen to your boy all the time. But see that Rocket Red, even though he uses the same parts, he feels a little bit bigger. He looks a little bit bigger, and I'm okay with that. It's fine. I don't mind reuse as long as we get something good out of it. And I feel like Rocket Red is a good example of that. Is he the DC Classics, big honking monster one? No, but he's big enough. And that's what she said. Moving these two out of the way. It does kind of feel like all these guys have the same pauldrons, though. They very well might. Let me just double check his. No, his are in fact different. I thought they were. Bringing in our two regulars. Got the Mythic Legion's brother Mandibilith right there. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who probably not towering over everyone today. He's a hair taller than Rocket Red, but You know. You know. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and despite the fact that I am not entirely one for army building, unless it's a skeleton, of course, let's not kid ourselves, so long as obtaining a few more of these guys is not too difficult, I wouldn't mind having a few more. I don't know if I'll go for all 6, but I wouldn't mind having a small group of these guys, because this is a pretty cool figure. Despite the reuse, the reuse is good. This is a good body mold. It was good the first time with Batwing, then the second time with the Manhunter robot, and the third time with Batwing V2. And everything in between. So, yeah, I'm going to give this the Overlord seal of approval for what that's worth. Anyway, so with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.